Huh? Yeah, no kidding. Ready to go?
Back there. Go ahead, Coach.
Thumbs up. Well, first, just let me say that our thoughts and prayers are with John Asher's family. Obviously, everybody here knows him, and great guy, great man. He'll be really missed. 45th anniversary of Paul Rogers. Congratulations, Paul. Excited about that. That's a heck of a deal. And now it's game week, so it's a good time for us. What we did is Friday night we had a mock game, which is part scrimmage and then part situations, and a lot of special teams. You know, you got to get all the special teams works and all the things that could come up in special teams. But I like the way it was done. We did a good job with it. Our players did a good job with it, preparing for it. And then they come in Saturday morning and we do a team run. And then came back last night and had our, start of the week practice for Alabama. Today's their day off. We always do that early in the year, have Monday as their day off. That's when some of our players take labs and have later classes. And then sometimes later in the year, we change it to Sunday as the day off, but it works out better for Monday. So our first, real practice again tomorrow for the Alabama game. But we're excited for it. I'm fired up for our team. I think we've had a good camp. We've grown and got better. I think we've learned a lot about our players. They've learned a lot about each other. And we're excited to play a game. We are certainly at that point where we're tired of hitting and tackling and going against each other. So it's time for a game, and we got a good one, playing the defending national champions. Great tradition, very well coached team with a lot of really good players. So it's a great challenge for us. We're looking forward to it. We're excited. We need to have a good week of practice, good week of preparation, not just practice, but the entire week of preparation and the meetings and the studying and really understanding. Seems like we've been working for this game for a long time, so it's nice to finally get here and get the week going. With that, I'll just open up for questions.
Coach, are there any starters that you intend, players you intend to start that you maybe came out of the blue that you did not expect at the beginning of practice might have moved into that position?
No, and I think we hand out the two deep here right after the press conference, but no, I think we're pretty much, we've had some really good competition, and we still have some competition going on. This is the tentative starting lineup, and obviously you still got to practice and work to get better in practice and work to keep your job in practice, but it's pretty close to where we thought it would be when we started the season, and there hasn't been a whole lot of change, luckily.
Well, we heard from you when Jalen came back to practice for the first day last week. What else did you see from him for the remainder of the week, and how confident are you that he might be able to contribute? Yeah,
I was excited to see the shape that he's in and how he was able to handle the load in practice, the reps, and be able to, do pretty much anything and everything. He did go through the scrimmage or the mock game the other night, did a nice job, caught some nice passes, so that was good to see. And I think he's in good condition, ready to go. So I was happy about that. That's a credit to our trainers and the other things that we have to allow kids to condition, the underground treadmill and the other treadmill that lowers your weight, and the ability to go ahead and condition while you're not fully healthy. And because I was a little bit surprised how good a condition he was in.
Bobby, how have you seen Puma grow during fall camp, and how has he been as a leader in the huddle?
Yeah, I think he's getting there as the leader, and the first thing you have to do as a quarterback is do your job really well to be a leader. You have to be able to direct and change the mood at times, and I've seen him see that and do it, and demand kids to pick it up and get going. So that was really good to see. It's his time. He's ready to go. He's been preparing for this for a long time. He just needs to relax, have a good week of practice. He did really well Friday night. I was really excited about how sharp he was and how accurate he was. and his decision-making. So we're going to really focus on, decision-making and execution all week long in practice.
Bobby, what kind of challenge has it been preparing for the possibility of two quarterbacks from Alabama and not knowing which one you're going to see?
Yeah, and one of them's only played a half, and then cranked the ball deep, really did a great job throwing the football. So, we've been having to prepare for both of them. They both can run. And they're both big, 220-pound guys that can run with big hips that are hard to tackle. So the thing we have to do is get in position to make the tackles when they do run, and do a great job of form tackling and getting extra guys to the ball. But they're very sound on everything that they do: protection, run game, their RPO game that they do, and we've got to be able to recognize splits and formations and tips, and try to have an idea what's coming before the ball snapped.
As a follow-up, how pleased have you been with your defense's development under Brian, and just the young guys really stepping into those key roles?
Yeah, I've liked our camp. I think that, like I said last week, our attitude and our toughness and our commitment to effort has really showed up in camp. I felt like the other night that our assignments and speed, we were playing faster because we knew what we were doing. There wasn't a lot of hesitation out there. So I was happy with the way we ran to the football and the way we tackled, and the attitude that we're playing with is what you need.
Jawan's been in the program for 3 years now. How has he developed as a passer since he got on campus before he comes in to start his first game?
Yeah, that's kind of what he was coming out of high school. We felt like he's getting back to the pocket passer, the guy that can move in there. He does a really good job of throwing the ball across the middle. I think that's something that, has really shown up in practice and in his ability to make those passes where you got to hit the top of the helmet, and I think it helps with his height and his release in doing that. He also does a good job of moving and throwing the ball on the run, has a really short, quick release, and gets his body in the right position. So I think his 2 years here, he's improved and worked extremely hard at it. I think it's going to be being able to carry it over from the practice field to the game field so that you continue to have the right set, have your feet in the right position, get your shoulder in the right position, and be able to just focus on my reads and, let the muscle memory take care of itself.
You've gone against Coach Saban before, and he's got new defensive coordinators probably since you were there at Arkansas. When you think of his defenses, what are the things that really stand out, and why has he been able to be so successful?
Yeah, they're always really good at stopping the run and working to stop the run, whether it's technique and fundamentals and being sound, or being pressuring you to with run pressures to try to stop the run. And then they got guys that can really rush the passer. So, they do a good job. They've always done a good job of adjusting during the game, too. I think that's one of the things that we noticed from them before was they're going to come out in the second half and have a couple of new things that we didn't see in the first half, particularly on third down.
Bobby, we know how much importance you place on the first drive, the scripted first offensive series of the game. In general, what is typically your aim for that, and does it change at all for this game?
No, it doesn't change. It's another game, start of the season, so we'd like to take the ball and go get a touchdown. That's typically what we want to do and expect to do. You try to mix different personnel groups, different formations in there. We've got to do a good job up in the press box, really understanding what we're seeing and what they're doing to those different personnel groups and different formations. So you're not only trying to score, but you're trying to learn and bring it to the next series.
Coach Klonakis, if he made a final decision on his status?
Yeah, nothing has changed there, and
Do you expect him to coach Saturday?
No, he's not coaching Saturday.
Mama, you've talked a lot about getting your players to believe that they can beat Alabama. How's that going? How do you know Do you not know till game day if you succeeded, or how? What do you do?
Hey, we're working on it every day. I think you do it by working extremely hard in practice and, understanding that you did that, trusting your teammates did it, and going into the game with confidence. And one of the things that helps your confidence is you really understand what you're doing, and you study and know the game plan and know what we're doing, and then you're ready to go execute it. So it's not like it's a new thing or anything. It's the same thing you try to do for every game. And part of your job as a coach is to get your players to believe that you can go out there and win the game. Get your players to believe during the game that you're going to win the game. That's a big part of coaching. And we've had a lot of good games where our players have done that, and then you go out and play the way you can play. Every now and then you get a game where it shows up that you really didn't believe it, and then you make the mistakes, and you normally catch a ball and you drop it. You normally hit this curl, 10 out of 11 snaps, and all of a sudden the ball's high and sailing off. And I always believe that that's part of whether you believe you're going to win or you don't.
Was there any way, though, to know that? I mean, as a coach.
Well, you go play the game. Here we go. It's time to do it.
Coach, you're in an interesting situation this week where you get to study an opponent by having kind of a documentary follow them around. How much are you watching that, and are you kind of taking that with a grain of salt, or is it part of the actual game plan?
I mean, we had guys that looked at it every night and took notes and drawings and, tried to get as much out of it as we possibly can.
Coach, other than Jalen Smith, is everybody healthy?
Yeah, I think we're pretty healthy. So it looks like we should have everybody available and good to go.
Bobby, you've mentioned in the past, during the offseason, you'll study teams of certain games to kind of maybe get a head start on game planning for that. I would imagine Alabama was a part of that process this offseason. How much do you guys do that, and how often do you guys revisit it throughout the offseason?
Yeah, I mean, when we come back from recruiting, we always have three teams that we're going to spend time on in the offseason getting ready for the next season. So, we usually have 1 week where we totally game plan for this game. Then we come back in spring ball and spend time practicing for it in spring ball. And then you come back in the summertime and, spend another week or 2 weeks on game planning. And now it started all over again. So it's, it's one of those things. A lot of times there's not a lot that you change. But there are times where we're not executing this very well, so, you take it out. So it's really, you probably eliminate more than you put in at this point in time, because the first game plan, you put everything you got up on the board, and then you start eliminating.
How have your guys responded to Little being out, and what's that depth kind of sorted out looking like in the backfield?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of football, is that you understand there will be some injuries, and it's unfortunate. Tobias has, worked so hard, and I was excited to see him play, and I know he was excited to do it. He's got a great attitude, and he'll come back from it. But, the guys are just working hard to get their name called and get carries, and there's still good competition. They're still working hard at it, and, you got Trey Smith, you got Day Williams, you got Colin Wilson, we got Malik Staples has come in and helped us and done some really good things. And then you got the two freshmen that are still trying to understand what's going on every play. But boy, can they run and catch and, are exciting.
You talked a lot about how you want to get your team to make sure your team believes that they can win on Saturday. With Puma specifically, what will you say to him to make sure he's in the right frame of mind? Yeah,
we're just going to go out and practice right now. So, and then obviously there'll be a lot that we talk about, but he's just going to practice.
Trayshawn Smith, do you expect him to play Saturday?
Yeah, Trayshawn's done a nice job and was played Friday night, did a good job.
All right.
All right, thank you very much.
No players today, players are off, so.